Cohen, Jen, everyone else. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey, David.
Good.
Hey guys.
Hi, David. Hi, everyone.
Hi everyone. Sorry about the slight delay there. Getting in my room, and I can just see Ben is struggling to find the link. 1 second. Making sure. Well, Connor found his way in, so if Connor can do it, Ben can. No, no offense, Connor.
No, no, no. I see it as high praise.
That sounded so wrong. I didn't mean it to come out like that.
As a known troglodyte, no, I'm very happy that I managed to get in early.
Good stuff. I'll just send Ben the link.
There he is.
He's
Okay.
got it.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining, everyone. So excited to see you over here. Feel free to drop in a message in our chat. And welcome to our third Lego Build a Change Showcase Schools webinar, the first one of this year. And today we'll be having a few guests, which is great. And so we will be here for a full hour to be inspired, basically. Hi, Jen. How's it going?
Great. Great to see you. So happy to see all of our schools back together again. Excited to get started.
Cool. Maybe you had a very short message about a newsletter, a new initiative. Maybe you can share a bit more about that.
Yeah, I'd love to share. So today we're going to be joined by some special guests for our webinar here. They're already starting to join in. But before we do that, we wanted to share a little bit about what is to come with our community of Showcase Schools here. So as you can see, our Showcase Schools are starting to introduce themselves in the chat. We are a global community, and we want to make sure that we can best support you all in connecting with your Build the Change initiatives. So starting next month, we have a few new things that we're going to be sharing with you. First off, you're going to be receiving a monthly newsletter via email. So our newsletters are going to be having some new updates, opportunities for you and your students, and then ways to connect. So we've heard from you all that you're interested in having your schools connect with other global schools. So we have a few different ways that you'll be able to do this. One of our favorites that we're going to be sharing more on next week will be engagements in the platform. So we're going to be talking more about the platform here in our webinar. So watch for the newsletter coming up next week, and then also new opportunities for engagement throughout every week of the month of February. So can't wait to connect with you all around that, and some opportunities for spotlighting your schools too. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks, Kuhn.
Awesome. First, a very important message is that we have a new school, a new showcase school for this year, only one, and that is a school in Mexico. And so please welcome our school in Mexico. We have a few teachers there joining today. So really pleased with having them on board of this community. Yeah. So David and Anders, I think it's time for you to say hi and introduce our first guests, right?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Cohen. Always amazing to be on these calls with you all. We talk about inspiration. We are super inspired every time we jump on these calls and talk with you and connect with you. Honestly, it drives us. It gives us ideas. It reminds us we have a lot more work to do to make everything work as brilliantly as it can. But it's a joy, an absolute joy. Anders, I know you've got a minimized role today, but do you want to say a few words?
I would just like to say a quick hello, and echoing what David is saying, it's so fantastic, this partnership we have with all of you, because you provide such amazing learning to play experiences to your students. So thank you so much for being a part of this.
Excellent. Thanks, Anders. he hasn't misbehaved or anything. He's just got things, that's the reason he's not talking much today. He's not on the naughty step. Right. Another call out. We have a little task later. Now, some of you might not have this handy, but don't worry, you can watch everyone else do it. But if you have a pen and some paper handy later, we're going to do a little exercise, but that comes later on. So you've got some time to get something handy, something to draw with, basically. It doesn't have to be paper like that. It can be anything. It can be, onto your face, or it can be onto anything you have nearby. Don't draw on your face. I'm not asking that. Right. So moving swiftly on, we are going to show you a few updates from the Build the Change world, the universe. We hope that it's fun for you to see a little bit of a sneak peek on things that other people don't get to see. But we feel that we have a really great relationship with the Showcase Schools, and one where we can share, a little bit more than we do with other partnerships. So let me share my screen. Bear with me, and I will do that. Here we go. And then, I want to make sure I can share sound, but it's hopefully going to let me do that. Okay. Hopefully it will let me share. It didn't give me an option to share sound, but I'm not worried yet. Okay. Can you all see that? Is that good?
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. I haven't had an option to share sound, so when it comes to a video later, I will just check in with you guys. Right, just a quick reminder, you're talking with a bunch of us today. You're going to see 3 of us from this team. This is not a bingo card. I will tell you who now. We will be seeing Anders, we'll be seeing Ben, and you've already seen me, David. But this is the global programs team. Now, we work on Build the Change and a bunch of other stuff. We work on something called Build to Give. We work on something called Prescriptions for Play. There are a couple more things coming this year and beyond. So it's a lovely team. It was only Liz and I 4.5 years ago. So we've really grown quickly, and it's a joy to work with them. Most of them, I'm kidding, all of them. Now, another reminder, we have content library in 2025. Now, Ben on the call has been working really hard on making sure we have this really succinct kind of topic areas linked to the business, and also linked to what children truly care about. And this is the library as it stands. We'll send you this later, and they've all got links on them so you can see stuff. But we do encourage you to go onto if you haven't seen all of these, if you're new to them, do go on to the Build the Change website where you can download them properly there. These links probably won't be on the PDF we send later. It'll be the link to the website. But we have, very quickly, Our Living Planet, where we have our maybe more environmentally leaning topics. So biodiversity, human impact being the 2 big ones under the kind of overarching theme of climate change, especially. We've got Tech of the Future, and our big course there is Circular Economy. Do check that out. And then we've got our newest societal, social responsibility topics, and we call that A Place for Everyone. And we've got 2 courses out there at the moment. We've got Designing Places for People, which I talked about last time we met. And we've also got Playful Schools Challenge, which you'll hear more about later. And that's the one we did with Mr. Williams, Pharrell Williams, the singer, and he does so many things. Awesome human being. Right, so those are our big content library topics at the moment. Another reminder that we also have the YouTube Build the Change Academy with all the training resources, which I believe are also linked on the platform. Or, yeah, I'm getting nods. Good. Thanks, Jen. Please check it out. It's hopefully super useful. It gives you tips on running classroom sessions and all of that. And there's an awesome video of Ben on branding basics, which we're also going to talk about today. Right, okay, enough of that. Let's talk about the updates from the Build the Change universe. So the first one is a really, really special sneak peek. Well, before we get to that, I just want to call out that we reached 2.3 million children last year. And when we say reach, we mean they had a Build the Change experience. They didn't see a social post or anything like that. It wasn't impressions. This was actual experience. So I just want to say on behalf of the team, thank you for being part of that, because it's incredible. And TAG is a super important partner in getting our message out there, our Build the Change program out there. So big, big, big thank you from all of us. What a year, 2024. It just means that we need to reach more children this year. So no pressure. Right. Here's the sneak peek. So this is one of them, the sneak preview. New content is coming. Hooray! I hear you shout. It is coming. It's launching in spring 25. It's going to be all about playful cities. Now, playful cities is predominantly a social topic, social responsibility topic. But of course, playful cities means more green spaces, more connect to nature, more play. So there's definitely links back in with the environmental themes that I know we often talk about in our partnership, but bringing that social angle in, that social lens in. So very quickly, the challenge is going to be getting kids to reimagine their cities. Reimagine cities so more people, both children and adults, play. There's going to be the usual Build the Change flow. It's going to be immerse, create, share. The immerse is going to have another awesome animation. Ben is working hard on that. He's our main man on the ground when it comes to all the lovely content you see. So big shout out to Ben. And working with an amazing studio in LA, which is really exciting, a new studio. A studio, Ben told me, does all the end credits on the Lego movies. So they are well versed in our universe. The create, I've just mentioned, they'll be getting the challenge, the call to action will be to get children reimagining cities so more people can play. Not just playgrounds. We often, all of us as adults think, oh, we want more people to play. Let's just put more playgrounds. No. This is about playgrounds plus. What else can we put in there? What else? So how can we change bus stops to make them more playful? How can we change a normal wall on a building to make it more playful, to encourage people to play, to connect with that side of their development, personalities, etc. So, and then of course we want to share. There'll be moments in the year where your ideas, and we'll get to that later, but your ideas from children will have platforms to be shared on this year. More than usual, I would say, which is going to be great, because hopefully we're tying in very closely to what the Lego group are doing in bigger campaigns. So nice synergies are happening. That's what basically I want to say. Right, very quickly, I want to show you this. Anders, are you still on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here. Now, I'm going to show a video to everyone now, which is from you. And I thought it'd be nice, if you don't mind, could you give a quick intro?
Absolutely. So in Lego Build a Change, we believe that all children deserve to have a say on how the future should look. And that, of course, also includes kids with neurodivergency. So what we did in Denmark was to equip 20 hand-picked teachers who are really good at teaching kids with special education needs. So we equipped them and trained them up with Build a Change. They each got a big box of Lego bricks, as you can see in the picture. And then they toured around in Denmark on 20 different special schools in Denmark to facilitate Build a Change with these kids. The topic was about climate change, and they had to build solutions for sea turtles. So we just finalized the pilot a month ago, and we asked the teachers to fill out journals. We had an external consultancy company to interview the teachers, interview the facilitators, interview the kids, and we have seen amazing results so far. The kids love to be part of it, and it really just supports again our big ambition of giving all kids the microphone, because all kids deserve to have a say. So we compiled a short little 2-minute video of how it actually looks like in these classrooms. So let's hope that the sound works.
Fantastic. Thanks, Anders.
Heads up, it is in Danish, but I believe we put in some subtitles. We understand.
Everyone speaks Danish on this school. That was one of the criteria for joining Showcase Schools. Yeah, just kidding. Right, let's see. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Oh dear. Do you have it handy, Anders? Do you think you can share? Sorry, buddy. Don't know why.
I can't do it with my headphones here. Can you try to reshare and maybe see if you can enable sound?
Yeah, bear with me, everyone. 1 second. Share computer sound. Here we go. Okay.
Yay.
Okay. How's this?
Yeah.
Sounds
Når
good.
jeg præsenterer de her problemer med havskildpadderne, jamen, så oplever jeg faktisk, at eleverne er enormt engagerede, fordi de kan relatere til de her havskildpadder. Og gøre det ved brugen af Lego er noget, de er meget, meget, meget glade for.
Jeg har ikke set så meget Lego før. Ikke så meget. Det er meget.
Eleverne, vi har med at gøre i dag, er elever, som har læringsmæssige vanskeligheder og kort arbejdstidsudkommelse med mere. Eleverne har rigtig godt af at bygge med de Lego-klodser, som vi har siddet og bygget med nu her. Og det er rigtig godt for dem at kunne udtrykke sig kreativt, også ud fra det tema, de har fået stillet. Det kan de rigtig godt lide at bygge med.
Jeg har bygget et hus til havskildpadderne.
I dag har jeg bygget en ø med nogle træer og nogle skildpadder, der kunne hjælpe skildpadderne med at bo der på en lille ø, de kunne svømme ud til. Og så var der nogle mennesker, der kunne komme og hjælpe dem med at fodre dem og have det godt. Det var fedt, at de voksne også kunne løbe lidt, hvad vi gerne ville lave.
Det var sjovt. Meget sjovt.
There we go. Anders, thanks so much for shining a light on that and driving that work over there. I think it's obviously amazing. And we're hoping, as Anders said, that we're going to be doing more in this space in future. So do watch this space. That's one of my catchphrases, apparently, according to Ben. Right. Thanks, Anders. This is the last kind of spotlight we wanted to just give. I know some of you tuned in and watched this, but we do have content on Discovery Education, new content. It's a half an hour virtual field trip. It's connected to bats. You have to put up with me a lot in it talking, but it's really, really a lovely 25 minutes of content, and it's got tons of children involved in presenting and also taking part, as you can see there. But it's talking about bats, how important they are in our ecosystems, and how important it is to protect them against the challenges of climate change. So do check that out. We'll put a link in the follow-up email, and any of you who haven't seen that yet, please do check it out. And there's also a really nice bat animation from Ben in there. Okay, those are the updates. Right, big letters. Connor from the Natural History Museum, London. That must mean. Cohn, do you mind if I introduce him? Is that all right? Yeah, I got a thumbs up. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, I love doing introductions, especially to people I know so well. But Connor, in Studio 4, you are in the Natural History Museum, London. A little bit of context. We have been working with the museum for many years, and we love them. They're like second family to us. And we thought it'd be nice just to bring Connor on to share what they're doing with Build the Change. Just obviously different scale to schools, but hopefully there's some inspiration there. You never know. But Connor, without further ado, it's over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, David. So hey, everyone, I'm Connor. At the Natural History Museum, I have one of the best job titles in the world, I think, creative producer for the Lego project, which is really, really fun. I've got some slides to share. Just to give you an overview of what we do with Build the Change here at the Natural History Museum, but also just to say before I get in, this is super exciting. It's amazing seeing where everyone's from in the chat, and it's really an honor to be as part of this group, to share all of this exciting work that we've been working on. So I'm just going to share my screen. Sorry, I'm working on a station I don't normally work on, which was smart, but I'm going to, Share that. Is there a way in which you can share a slideshow directly? Like, I'm used to the Microsoft Teams. So David, I like the way that you done it. Was that just like a whole window that you shared?
Yeah, so you go on share and then you
Yeah.
can choose the window, the specific PowerPoint window rather than whole screen.
Cool.
And then I made
Great.
it whole screen. Yeah,
Great.
go
Fantastic.
for it.
All
We're
right.
a patient bunch, don't worry.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Cool. All right. So, all right. There's a PowerPoint. Let me go to share. And then let me make that full screen for you all. There we go. Can everyone see that fine?
Perfect.
Excellent.
1 second. We're just waiting for it to become full screen.
Okay.
If you click down, did you click it already?
Yeah. So it's two windows basically. There's the regular one and the full screen one, and I think you need to reshare the full screen one. Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay, thank you very much.
Love it. Someone very experienced with Zoom calls, guys. I love it.
Yeah, this is a classic as well. Okay, all right, let's see. Hopefully this works now. It's tricky because then when I share it, it takes over the full screen. Okay. Is that working now, or is that back to how it was before?
Oh, it was, yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's fine.
all right.
I think it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you can do it
Okay.
like this. Maybe.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, but yeah, all right. So I'll get cracking. But yeah, so this is just an overview of what we've been doing with Lego Group over the past couple of years. So the Natural History Museum is one of the largest and oldest natural history museums in the world. We are the custodians of a collection of over 80 million specimens, and there are over 300 scientists that work on maintaining these specimens, but also cutting edge scientific research at the Natural History Museum, as well as our lovely historic, and we have many more modern galleries for the public to visit. So yeah, we're one of the most visited indoor attractions in the UK, and we're constantly engaging families and children in our learning programs. So working with the Lego Group through Build the Change has been really amazing at bringing such a well-known educational tool to our audiences and using that to communicate about our collections and our current research. So as David mentioned, we have been working with Lego Group for a short while. So since 2018, we've had various different educational learning partnerships focused around learning through play. But since 2023, we have been working directly on Build the Change on site at the NHM. Now, you'll have seen on one of David's slides, there was the online course pack that we developed alongside David and Ben for educators outside the museum setting that focused on basically protecting birds, today's dinosaurs, using that hook of kids' favorite dinosaurs to visit when they visit the museum. But yeah, we have then kind of taken that into the physical space at the museum. So since we launched our physical program in 2023, over 35,000 children have engaged hands-on with Lego brick activities at the NHM, which is amazing. And then also, as of this year, we have launched a program with 5 museums around the UK that we have existing partnerships with as part of a network called the Real World Science Network. And they have been delivering their own Build the Change activities at their site as well. I'll talk a bit about that later on. But yeah, I would like to give you just a very brief overview of the different sorts of activities and audiences that we've run at the museum. So we have probably where we get the most interactions are for families. So we run activities in every school holiday around half terms, and then around the spring, and then also the autumn holidays as well. And these are huge mass build events in which we take some real world specimens that we have in our learning collection and some of our real world research to inspire some Build the Change challenges. So what you're seeing here are photos taken at 3 separate events, in one of which they're building a home for birds to protect it from habitat loss. And in the top left, those strange things that those people are holding, those are sea urchins. So this one was about marine pollution. So yeah,
Sorry,
we
Connor.
have. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. We We can't see you haven't moved the slides on in your window, in this window. So we're still on the first slide.
Oh no.
There we go. There we go.
Is that working now?
That works. You're gonna have to move them there, sadly. Thanks, buddy.
Okay. So
That's great.
you're on the one with the 3 images, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
yeah.
great. I'm so sorry, guys. This was the previous slide here, which just had those figures on it. But yes, so yeah, these are run, as I mentioned, every school holiday period, and there's a big focus on intergenerational learning as well in these between the parents and the children. We get the parents involved with all of these activities, which is always a lovely way for not only the children but for the parents to learn about the natural world and what they can do to protect it. So as part of these activities, obviously being based in the UK, especially in London, we have the amazing Lego group volunteers able to help us in our big public events, which is incredible. So basically, employees from across the Lego group in the UK offices, they come into the museum and they help facilitate these hands-on sessions alongside our learning facilitator staff, and we've hosted over 600 within the past year and a half, essentially, across these events. So that's been a lovely way for visitors not only to interact with our staff and our collections, but also with the Lego group directly. And we get lots of gasps of excitement when we say there's actually people here from Lego group. And yeah, the kids get very, very excited about that, and to show off, obviously, their amazing build the change ideas in those sessions. So that's our big mass events, but then we also have early morning openings for families that have children who have neurodivergent conditions and children with autism. And so at these events, we have they're a lot more lower key. The rest of the museum's closed. And we have these more spaced out sessions that are adapted for this audience specifically. So we provide things like these ear defenders. We have soft tables, so the sound of bricks doesn't clatter too loud on the tables themselves. And we tend to also be much more open with the kind of building briefs that they're doing. Some children love going down for the super kind of focus route where we give them a specific challenge, whereas others like to be a bit more kind of open with what they're building and responding to the challenge with. So these are really lovely sessions that we also offer around 4 times a year as well. And we're also kind of trialing the use of, alongside this, we have a separate kind of station in which we're trialing the use of Braille bricks in our Build the Change activity as well for any children for which that might work. We also have a regular schools program. So this is bookable for schools. We offer over 10 different school shows and workshops at the museum, and this is one of them. This runs 4 times a week. It's a 2-hour workshop in which children work in small groups to basically build their responses to a people and planet challenge together. It's kind of like choose your own adventure. They get to vote as a group which habitat they want to defend, and then they also kind of take on the role of one of the local stakeholders in a second challenge and build on behalf of local community, taking into account what the planet needs, what nature needs, but also the people that depend on a habitat as well. There's a big focus in this workshop on kind of centering biodiversity in any responses we have to the climate and planet emergency, and then also teaching children about the green skills that they'll need in order to be a builder of the future when they graduate as well. So yeah, the big focus on transferable skills here with lots of curriculum links to the UK curriculum, especially in the sciences and geography. And then we also have a local outreach program. The museum has partnerships with a number of institutions, organizations, and community centers situated around the museum in London. So we'll go out into the community, we'll take some challenges and some bricks with us and meet people where they are. These are generally for audiences that face structural barriers to accessing the museum and our collections traditionally. So this is a really important way of reaching people where they are. These are photos from a local festival that was taking place last year. that was as part of a community in London that was affected by a very large fire a few years ago called the Grenfell community. So this was a lovely event in which we were able to bring along our bricks and had this lovely display, as you can see with our facilitators at the end of the day, in which people were building homes for animals that you can actually find in this park and in the local area. You can see there's a lovely little, I think that was a great tit in that box there as part of our local species there. And then just off the back of that, I mentioned earlier around our national network of museums. So this has been something that we've been piloting from 2024 into 2025, and will be continuing from 2025 into 2026. So 8 museums around the UK, from in Wales, Scotland, and England. Are all programming their own localized Build the Change challenges for their core audiences. So those could be schools or families or communities. And I'm sure, like yourselves, they've adapted all of the content to fit with their own kind of local area and also museum collections, which has been amazing to see. So yeah, we've been implementing a number of evaluation projects as well alongside the program. And we're seeing really great things from Build the Change, in which children are really recognizing how their creations can have a positive impact on nature, that they felt more confident to advocate for nature, which is amazing because that's our core museum here at the Natural History Museum. And that also the pupils that come to the school's workshops, they also agree that they learned more about nature in those sessions and felt more informed about the challenges that the Earth is facing. So yeah, pretty much the heart of everything that we do is fostering children's agency. So the Build the Change model is amazing in terms of having that immerse in which we can harness our museum collections and our amazing facilitators. Obviously, the create with the Lego bricks and other materials, but then the sharing is where it's really, really special here at the museum, because it's the first kind of activity we have where people are really kind of at the end, they're displaying what they have for everyone else. So for the next year of the partnership, we're also looking into kind of seeing a longer term kind of evaluation project in working with local schools and seeing how we're fostering agency over time with them as well. And then just to kind of finish off the presentation, I have some quotes that we've collected from some of our evaluation projects, which are really lovely to see. The first one are pupils recognizing that there is something that they can do to help the planet in the future, which is lovely to see. The second and the fourth comments here around children really being empowered in the sessions, in large part thanks to the confidence that they're building and building their own creation and then displaying it. And then also for the teachers as well, they've been recognizing that these hands-on Build the Change sessions are really helping children realize that there is stuff to be done. That isn't all doom and gloom, and we all have the power to make the world a better place. So yeah, that's what we're doing at the Natural History Museum. Thanks so much, everyone.
Wow. Cohen, Jen, what do you think? Thanks, Connor.
I think Connor does have a pretty cool job.
Absolutely. I can see a lot of nice comments, Connor, as well, and applause and hearts. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet with us all. I mean, I've seen the project since the beginning, and I'm still just inspired every time I hear you talk through that. So thank you. Really is great. And I hope, as Jen pointed out, I hope you see some parallels, or a lot of parallels, with the work you're doing. Some of those research results, especially, are really reaffirming. I just love seeing that children actually feel the impact. So do hopefully you've been inspired. Do get in touch if you'd like to know anything else from Connor. He charges a lot of money, though. I just want to make sure he's a very expensive consultant. All right, Cone. Thanks again, Connor, buddy. Cone, over to you.
Thank you. So maybe before we go to Ben, our guest speaker, we would like to give you a very short update about the platform. You know that platform is our home base, bringing everyone together, allowing our community to have a chat with each other and share their progress. And so we thought that it would be really great to have someone from our development team who has been working on the platform, introducing and explaining a bit more about those new features. And that is Bram. Bram is also in Belgium. Hi, Bram.
Hey everyone, how are you doing?
And so a few of you have been having some interviews with an organization, and they have been keeping track of what you really would like to be part of the platform. And feel free to reach out to us and tell us what you really would like to have on board of the platform. And we are working on a few really, really cool new features. But Bram is going to share his screen right now and show a few of those and also what has been introduced today. So, Bram, over to you.
All right, can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So first of all, it's always incredible to see so many people coming to these meetings. I, as a developer, I'm a lot in front of my screen, so it's great to see how many people we actually reach with the platform. So first of all, we're building this platform for you guys, so feedback is incredibly important to us. And some feedback that you guys have been giving us is that it's not the easiest to connect with people or to target specific people to connect with. For example, we have a new school from Mexico, which is incredible. But then how can we connect other people from Mexico or from Latin America with each other? So in the My Network tab here, under Community, we added some new filters for you guys to be able to filter by language, by country, by student age brackets. So for example, if I am looking for someone in Mexico, I can filter here. I can look for people that teach students between ages 6 and 8, for example, and that way you can easily find people to do virtual interactions with, or maybe even interactions in real life. And yeah, this feature comes straight from feedback from you guys. So if you ever have something that you're thinking, okay, this would be really cool to have on the platform, this is something we really like, then please send it over our way so we can review it and we can try to implement it for you. Because again, the platform first and foremost is for you guys, the teachers. So and the school. So yeah, it's really incredible to see all of you guys here in the call and to see all of the amazing people that have been using the platform.
Thank you, Bram. And maybe Josh shared a really good message and question in the chat, and he's referring to a WhatsApp group. And I must say that we already had a WhatsApp group for the first cohort 2 years ago, but we replaced it with this platform basically because there were some disadvantages of WhatsApp. There's a lot basically, but the great thing about the platform is that it is keeping track of everything what has been shared. You can have filters. It is going to be translated. So people from Peru are able to communicate in Spanish, and you can see their message in English. You can acknowledge each other's efforts, basically. There's a calendar. There's so much more than WhatsApp. So we really prefer you to use the platform to communicate with each other. You can send direct messages. We can add events, etc., etc. So, but if there's something lacking and you really would like to see a new feature, feel free to reach out and we will try to make that happen for you. Okay? Thank you. So,
Of
David,
course.
maybe back to you to
Yeah, very
very
quickly.
special man,
Very,
Mr.
I mean,
Ben.
without whom none of us would be here. I can literally say that for whatever reason, and I'll let him fill in the blanks. But he's a very important guy to our team. It is, of course, the one and only Ben Courtney, who's going to tell you a bit more about branding and storytelling with a couple calls to action as well. Ben, are you there in Studio 5?
Yeah, I'm here. Can everyone hear me and everything?
I
Cool.
can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm the content lead for the team at Build a Change. So that means that I work on working with like agencies and creatives to make things like the educational films they might have seen about bees and climate change and everything else. I work on the kind of presentation decks that we offer that people can use as a starting point to present the challenges to kids and things like guides and training. I think David shared the Build a Change Academy before, which is mostly him talking about succinctly what's learning through play, how do you run a session, things like that. My background is in kids media and mostly educational, so educational video games, comics, TV shows, and films. And most recently, before I came to this part of the Lego Group in social responsibility, I worked on the commercial games. So there, I got very, very like instilled with all the kind of branding and approvals parts that go on when the Lego brand is going into something. So yeah, should we just go to the next slide? Like uh, if it's hard to get your head around like what a brand is, this is sort of like some of the key interesting things about the Lego brand. As an educational designer, I really love being able to work with it because it's old, it's very trusted, it's incredibly detailed in its design rules, and it's really systematic, which I find great because you can really convey ideas and information well by building up things like a system. Yeah, just some fun facts. It was founded in 1932 in Billund, Denmark, making wooden toys. The name is short for Leg Goat. Hopefully, Anders is on here. If there aren't too many Danes on here, they can like if you're not Danish, obviously I pronounced that perfectly. Anders don't talk, but it's short for the play well in Danish, and that's like a spirit that's gone back to the beginning of the company, where the brand has always been infused with this idea of like learning through play and sort of like helping children to play well and play in a way that's like really enriches them. In 1958 is when we kind of locked into the current Lego bricks and the system in play. That's when like all bricks from then to this day are all compatible with each other, and they've been built kind of to the same brick and knob configuration. In 1978, we introduced Lego minifigures, which have become like the way that Lego Group shows people. Uh, we have more than 34,000 different element shapes that are being produced right now that you'll find in all the different sets. A weird, super trivia fact about the Lego Group is that we're the world's largest manufacturer of tires because we made about 670 million tires. It's just that they're really small and they don't fit on grown-up people's cars very well. Um, there's this sort of infinite possibility that's presented by our system where 6 bricks, which I guess I won't go into whole digression, but you might know we do lots of activities about 6 bricks, and there's actually 915 million different ways you can combine them once you have just 6 2x4 bricks. And then again, to like the point of why it's so nice to be able to use our brand for social impact and for education is that we're just highly trusted by people all over the world. Again, in 24, we were the most trusted brand in a big survey that's put out by a company called RipTrack. So going on to the next slide. This is what our brand really is. This is the part of the Lego Group that we're highly answerable internally to kind of preserve, protect how these things are expressed, and that is really just the logo, the minifigure, and the bricks. You look on any kind of official Lego Group communication, or if you see like a website with a partner or a press release, they always have this legal line underneath protecting those trademarks, because really at the heart of the Lego brand is these 3 things. And as a cautionary note, that means if you're looking at putting things on your own websites, if you're looking at doing social posts or anything like that, it's way, way easier if you don't use any of these things. Like you don't put the logo on the site. You don't use sort of like illustrations of Lego bricks and figures. Although definitely keep doing what you're doing where you photograph real things in real life that include Lego bricks. That's totally fine. So to go on to the next slide, to give you a hint of kind of the pain that you experience once people start falling into actual brand approvals is we would have like a separate agreement with each partner, as we do with Tag, obviously. So you can see that their website has logos on it and all that stuff. But that involved like a whole big pass of things of doing agreements. And it means that they're subject to all these really complex branding rules that go from like what the spacing of the logo is, how big it is, where this little R appears. And then I could do a whole separate thing just because I like strange arcana about all the rules about how you show bricks and how they're used. You can see a bit from our brand manual there where it's like, oh yeah, you like don't show 2 bricks at different scales to each other, and like if you're making a real brick in real life, it can't be so soft and puffy that it loses the shape. There's all kinds of amazing things. If you care more, you can get one level deeper in that the link that's on that slide. And David, yeah, I think someone asked if you could share the link to the Academy again in the chat.
Sure, we can do that. Also, Corin just mentioned in the chat, Ben, that there are brand guidelines on the platform now as well. And there's a link in the chat.
Great. Yeah, cool. Perfect. Okay, so going on to the next slide. This is the last thing, which about brand, and then we'll go on to like storytelling, which is much more interesting and heartwarming. But we kind of say this to everyone who works with the Lego group at some point. Lego word, we're obsessed with the Lego word. Don't even get me started internally. So for one thing, it's always written in all capital letters when we write something. If you guys are working with it, we would love if you would put it in capital letters as well. And then this is the really weird thing about the Lego word. And even internally, people usually it takes like 5 times to learn this to start to understand or to remember, because the way that normal people in the outside world talk about or use the Lego world word isn't the way that Lego Group uses it. So for us, it's always an adjective. It's never a noun. What that means is that we never play with Legos or Lego, depending on whether you're, yeah, if you're American, the colloquial is to say like, oh, I'm playing with some Lego or Legos. And if you're in the UK, you'd be like, oh, I love my Lego. But we never say either of those things. We don't acknowledge that they exist. We always call them Lego bricks or Lego sets, Lego elements, whatever you want to call it. Also, we don't work at Lego. There's no such company as Lego since like I think the name changed, David, correct me if I'm wrong, like in the 60s, but we're the Lego group. So again, Lego is an adjective on the word group and Lego is an adjective on the word brick. So when you're writing communications talking about the Lego group, talking about Lego bricks, it's something that we all try to do to kind of like we've had entire amazing films like basically binned off because people say like, oh, I love Legos so much. I actually saw one in Anders' video, but I'm sure that the subs will be fixed in a future version. But when people say I love Lego, our lawyers just won't let us put it on our channels or officially endorse it. So we always try to, it's easier in translation, but we try to often like when we're filming people saying amazing things, we try to be like, oh, do you mind saying Lego bricks and stuff like that. So next slide, a much, much more interesting topic. Storytelling. So like we love, and I can't even say because often working in London here on the global team, it can feel very remote how the things we're making and doing are being used, and more importantly, how they're being innovated. So the stuff we've seen coming in by the platform and the WhatsApp group in the old days is amazing, and we want to keep hearing those stories. So we'd encourage you to share on the platform all your kind of build a change experiences, the awesome children's ideas. And then a really key feature of the program, obviously, is looking at children's voices. So examples of how people are sharing is just gold dust. And if you send those to Jennifer and Cohen or by the platform, however you interact, like when even just kids sharing ideas with each other in an assembly, we've had all kinds of cool stories about like walkthroughs of ideas as photos or as builds, how you're engaging local decision makers, how you're tweaking the whole thing to be locally relevant and to be really specific to things that are happening in the communities where you're operating. Like we love and treasure those stories, and Tag already gives us some of the most compelling and amazing stories that we've heard from the program. So yeah, we're just keen to keep collecting examples like that. And just one more slide, I think. So in summary, definitely send us your inspiring stories through the platform, through Jennifer and Cohen. Celebrate your amazing work on social media. Talk about the projects and activities you're doing. If you can be nice, use the Lego word well when you're doing that, but we can't really police it. And then don't, if you can, use Lego trademarks in your communications, apart from like photos of bricks. And if you're really going big with something, you're trying to like put out a blog post, a press release or something that talks specifically about the connection to the Lego group outside the activities you're doing. Like you're welcome to say that we're taking part in a free program offered by the Lego group. But if it starts to be things that sound like you're partnering with us or something, definitely talk to Jennifer and Cohen first, just so we can nuance the wording. And that is it from me. So I know we've got 8 minutes left. So if you have questions, just put them in the chat and I'll keep an eye on it and so on.
Amazing. Thanks, Ben. Awesome. Always good to check in with those guidelines. It's tricky, but you are working with us now, and it's great to have you as ambassadors out there. So I really appreciate that, Ben. Cohen, what's up next?
Yeah. So we have a new challenge for you. Let me share this one. So first of all, when you go to our platform, there feel free to drop a message at the wall. I just dropped the link with the branding guidelines, And I was acknowledged by Vladislav, which is just beautiful, just saying, you know. So feel free to do the same. I love hearts. You can find those branding guidelines at this page, but we also have a very special new challenge, a pink one, with something has to do with Pharrell, David. So can you explain a bit more about it, how that one came alive?
Oh, absolutely. And Ben, I mean, Ben worked on it very closely. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Ben. But Pharrell Williams, you probably know him, amazing, inspiring person. He has been working with the Lego Group a lot the last few years on first a movie, a Lego-based movie, which came out late last year, and also on a set which the whole theme is a rocket going up to the moon, and it's beautiful, really beautiful set. Now, alongside that, he also wanted to do some social responsibility work, and guess who he called? Well, he didn't call us directly, but we got in touch eventually. And Ben and Jess especially have been working with Pharrell's team for the last year and a half on a special challenge on playful schools. Now, Pharrell runs his own charity that has a school called Yellow Hub in Virginia, USA, and he's very passionate about evening the odds for all children, no matter what their background. And playful schools, the challenge itself is really about the different ways we all learn, the different learning styles. So the content is beautiful in that it addresses these differences and celebrates them and gives children the time to kind of recognize how they learn and think about how in the future or the school of their dreams, how it would really help them learn in their way. So anyway, really long intro. It's awesome. Get involved, and we really want your content for this because Jess is planning some big comms moments. Koen, anything else to add to that?
Yeah, so it's really easy to submit your own ID, and then you can find those at the challenges page. You can see the gallery, specifically the Playful Schools filter, and then you can see what everyone has been submitting. So we already have submissions from Romania and a lot of other schools. So keep working on this. It would be really great to see what you have been working on.
Yeah,
okay?
Thanks, guys.
So what I always really like is hearing from you, basically. So for this webinar, our main question was basically about stakeholders and partnerships. Unfortunately, Jess was ill today, so she's sick and not able to join. But is there anybody who has been working with other organizations, partnerships, stakeholders, maybe even like government? It would be really great to hear from you so that others can be inspired and maybe can do the same. So anyone would like to say something about that? Don't be shy.
It's a great turnout today. I think just adding to that, Jess is very keen on stories that show this connection with other decision makers. So children's ideas being shown to decision makers. It might be a decision maker in the school or outside the school. Any of those stories, we want to hear about them. We want to shine a light on those for sure this year. Anyone got examples? Or you can share later in email or on the platform. Everyone's getting distracted by Ben and Jen. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
look at that. Look,
Wait.
Ben's got a build. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Fantastic. He's got an actual light bulb. A very difficult build, I hear. That's very cool, Ben.
A very pleasant build, but it doesn't exist. It's because it was designed digitally. Anyway, I digress.
Could I just show a quick slide? Is that all right?
Okay then, David.
Fine, thanks. And you will see that very quickly. Now, I didn't have time to do the playful activity, so sorry if you got a pen and something to draw on. We'll do that next time. But just two playful recommendations for you. One is, you may have seen this book before, Beyond Ecophobia by David Sobel. It's an amazing book. Finally read it all. It's very short, but Ben and I have been strapped for time. We've both got a copy. It's excellent. Really love it. And also, I'll send the link later. There's a great podcast looking at playgrounds, which after the Second World War, and how we introduced playgrounds in certain countries around the world. And it's all talking about the importance of play, the power of play in children's lives. So do give a listen to that if you can. I hope you don't have to use a VPN for it, but you might have to, but let's see. But yeah, I just thought I'd share those. I'll stop sharing now. Great.
Thank you, David. Maybe one last thing I would like to say is that we will be running a very special event, and it will be with students for the very first time. It will be on March 11th, and we are going to make sure it's a really great event, basically. So it's really for the teacher and the students to attend. Everybody is able to join, so not specifically for the showcase schools. And yeah, so really looking forward to that. Make sure to put it in your calendar, and we will make sure to have great guest speakers. Jen, anything you would like to add to that?
No, I just want to thank David and Anders and the team for joining today. And it was wonderful to hear from Connor and from Ben. It's great for our teachers to be able to have access to this kind of incredible information that we can take back to our classrooms today. And to everyone who took time out of their teaching schedules, and some people already heading home for the day, we appreciate you being with us for this hour. We will share the recording and new updates coming with our first newsletter next week. So please watch for that. And my last thing would be, please keep sharing in our community of practice. We love seeing the updates and messages from you there. And we'll be sure to follow up on all things and keep the feedback coming.
Awesome. So last words go to you, David and Anders.
Oh man, don't do that. We'll be here forever. Very quick. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be in touch. Stay connected and stay playful. And I think Anders is off now, so he says the same thing.
I'm
He's
here,
still
but
there?
I'm still here.
Right,
Thank you so
sorry,
much
buddy.
for attending, guys. We look so much forward to how this can further be developed with all of you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
See you all soon. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks,
Bye.
Anders. Thanks, David.